Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the homestead. So we are currently downstairs in the basement, and my pantry is down here in the basement. We have a lot of work that needs to get done on this pantry. I have let it go all summer, and it's just everything's down here and in a mess. So I need to go ahead and get it put together so that I can work easily down here during the winter and grab the foods that I need to prepare dinners and anything else. So let's get started on this pantry. Alright, so we are currently inside of the pantry right now, and I have 2 shelves that are completely full. I originally had 4 shelves in here that I had food stacked on, but I took those 2 out to use during springtime as a seed start area. I had it covered in plastic, and that's where I had all my seed starts were on those 2 racks. So I'm gonna at least bring one of those racks back in here and get that all situated. So I'm gonna clear out everything that is currently on the floor. So I got a lot of stuff on the floor that I'm gonna go ahead and clear out of here and then bring that other shelf back in here and start getting it all organized. Alright, so I got what I needed out of the space so that I can go ahead and bring my shelf in. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there first, and then I'll look to start arranging around some of the foods that are in there. Alright, so that fits nicely right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and start taking some of these foods and put them over on this side. Alright, so I decided before I go ahead and put food over here, I'm going to go grab my other shelf. I was debating on whether or not I was going to put that shelf upstairs in my kitchen to use as storage for all my pots and pans. I decided I'm going to go ahead and bring it in here and put it up against this wall. That way I have more space to add more things to this pantry. So let me go grab that from the other side of the basement.
Gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now.
Alright, that looks a lot better. Now it seems like there's going to be a lot more space for me to move around and get my different foods on different shelves. Alright, so this is the one that I put in right here, and then here's the one that I have on this shelf. So I've got the 2 shelves that I can now work with and put foods on top. So let me start doing that. Alright friends, so I am doing some work over here in this section. I think I'm going to use this whole shelf for my cans. I have a lot of cans that I've used. Now they just need to store them over here. But I also have a bunch in the pump house that I think I'm just going to transfer them over here to this area. That way they're all in one area. So I'm going to go ahead and get this section all organized. I also found a trick that I'm going to show you with your rings. Alright friends, so I don't know if you're like me and you just have bags and drawers full of these rings, but I found a solution for hanging my rings securely on the shelf where they will be out of my way, they'll be out of my drawers, and I won't have multiple bags just lying all over the place with rings in them. I took an old dog leash that I had, and I just went ahead and just put it in there like that. So now I have this. And then I grabbed a clip that I can go ahead and then hang onto my rack. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna take your rings and you're gonna string them on here. And then once you put this back on here with all your rings, then you can just hang them up, and they're out of the way, they're out of boxes, they're out of bags, and they're in a nice neat spot where you can grab them when you need them. Alright friends, so now that I have my pantry completely cleaned, let's go ahead and go through and I'll show you everything that I have down here in my pantry. For starters, on this wall right here, this is going to be all my canning. I have all my jars, lids down here. I've got the rings here. So I've got my regular mouth lids and my wide mouth lids. And now I have them out of my drawers and hanging up where I can get to them a lot easier and they're not taking up space inside drawers. I also have my cat food down here. This wall over here, I have all my canned goods that I buy from the grocery store. These are all grocery store bought items. Up here I have my pastas are on the top shelf. All my different pastas are up here. I've got beans right here. My family, we like beans. So I've got lots of beans here. I've got more of my condiments right here. Different things for breakfast and our chilies. This is a staple in my house. We have to have tapatio at all times. And I couldn't find tapatio when we first moved here to Kentucky, so when I went back to California and I drove back here, I literally went to the Walmart and I bought them out of all of their tapatio bottles. And this is my last tapatio bottle that I bought. My husband's uncle actually bought a big thing of tapatio and they sent this to us. So we've got 2 bottles of tapatio left, but I have been doing my searching and I found tapatio at other stores. I just have to drive a little bit further to get to it, but that's okay. I have a lot of things I have to do when I go to those towns and I can just pick it up when I go there. So I've got our tapatio. Enchilada sauce is another big thing in our house and we only like this brand of enchilada sauce. I could not find this enchilada sauce anywhere in any of the grocery stores around me, but I found a Mexican grocery store and they actually had it there. So now I know where I can get my enchilada sauce. Next year I am planning to make my own enchilada sauce and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it is comparable to this or even better, and our family likes that better. That way I don't have to buy canned enchilada sauce from the store. I can have our own homegrown enchilada sauce. All right, so this shelf right here, I have peanut butter, jelly, our apple butter that we made last year. I still have different fruits, canned fruits, evaporated milk and condensed milk. Over here on this side, I've got my baking goods as well as my tomato sauces. But these are store-bought items, so this is our store-bought. And then we have our gravies and our soups on this aisle over here. Down on this shelf, I just have a few of the vegetables that are canned down here. I really don't use a lot of canned vegetables. I prefer to buy fresh vegetables and chop them up and use them that way. But I do have a few canned ones for emergency. Over here on this shelf, I have my flours, my sugars, big can of hominy, and then down here I have my coffee and my coffee creamer and some juice. This last one down here is our top ramen. My family, my boys absolutely love top ramen, so they go through that like crazy. That's their snacks. So I have an abundance of top ramen, and our cereals I'll put down here as well. All right, friends, so now for my absolute favorite shelf, my own canned food that I did this year. I'm really proud of myself for these canned things, and I'm only planning on expanding this for next year as I get more and more into canning and gardening and getting that stuff, all of our produce from the garden, into cans. So let's go over what I do have right now. All right, starting up at the top shelf, I have 2 jars right here, and these are dried things that I have. I've got my dried cayenne peppers and my dried jalapenos. So these I can use all year long. I can grind these up and use it as a powder. My cayennes I can rehydrate and possibly turn these into more wing sauce, which I absolutely loved. This shelf right here, I've got all my bone broth that I have canned so far, and I have a lot more bones to go through, so this is just a portion of what I will be having, but this is enough to get us going. So I've got bone broth here. I've got some canned green beans that were given to me. I've got the beef stew that we canned together. And down here is my most exciting, and I am so happy. Definitely gonna plan on doing a lot more next year, but these are all of my tomato sauces. I've got a lot of tomato sauces here, and I'm sure I will be going through all these and have to end up buying more from the grocery store because we go through a lot of tomato sauce in this household. I've got a few cans of the salsa left. I plan on making a lot more salsa next year. And then I have our wing sauce that we made together. Now for this next shelf, I was gifted some pickles from a good friend of mine, Monica. She gave me the butter and bread pickles and some dill pickles. I absolutely love dill pickles. I'm really excited to get into these very soon. I have a couple jars that I'm trying to go through in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to be popping these open. I am definitely looking forward to making some hamburgers and putting some of these on the hamburgers. They're going to be so good. Here are some jalapenos that we canned together. Here are the pickled jalapenos that we canned together. I actually pickled some squash, and it turned out pretty good. I actually liked it. It's a sweet pickling but it's really, really good. Our pickled okra that we made together, our cowboy candy, cranberry jelly that we made together, our jalapeno jelly, grape jelly. I've got 1 jar of the dandelion jelly that I made, and some honey that was given to me by my good friends Sherry and Robert at LSR Adventures. They gave us this awesome honey. So the last thing I have down here is waters. I have 40 gallon size jugs of water, and these I got a really good deal on, so I went ahead and stocked up and got a bunch. And these I have down here for emergencies. Here we have well water on our property. We do not have city water. We solely depend on our well water. So if anything happens and our well water is not good, or if our electricity goes out and our pump can't pump up the water to us, we have these gallon-sized jugs available to us for good drinking water. Or if we have like a really bad rain or anything like that and something happens to our well, again, we have this water down here for in case of emergencies. We have good drinking water down here. So that's something really important that we want to make sure that we have stocked up at all times. All right, friends, so thanks for coming with me while I got my pantry all cleaned up, and then I show you exactly what I have currently down here in my pantry. Like I said, next year I am planning on tripling what I grew and what I put away into the pantry next year. I want to do so much more. So this year was really just a trial run for me to see how I liked it, what I needed to do, and it's gonna better prepare me for next year. So I'm really excited for next year. I hope you enjoyed this video of my pantry. I will do another video of my grocery haul, and then I'll also probably do a video of my freezers, because what I have in here is just pantry stable food. I have tons more food in my freezers, so I'll probably do a video on that on another day. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends and family. As always, I hope all is well, and have a blessed day.